Are you... Hi, I'm Liz. I go by Stitch by Liz with an underscore over on Instagram. And welcome to Flosstube 70. Today is, what is today's date? Thursday the 20th of February 2025. If you are new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back to the Hot Mess Express. That is me. More of Hot Mess Express today than normal. If you are returning, this is my little corner of YouTube where I talk about my cross stitching and whatever else I want to talk about. This little corner of my videos is where my husband and unpaid editor Ross inputs his thoughts. He also has his own channel, so go and give him a follow. I'll have him linked down below. And then this little corner down here is where the tiny Dark Lord pops up to share his thoughts and meows. He may appear in this video. He was walking across this space while I was setting up, and now he's left the room, but it's inevitable that he's going to return. Yeah, okay. Life update. What has been happening since I last saw you 2 weeks ago? Not much. I'm still unwell. Don't know what is wrong with my stomach, which is very frustrating. I have a specialist appointment mid-March, so I'm hoping they can do some sort of diagnostic something or other to figure it out. So if you do hear my stomach making noises, I apologize. It is very loud, very annoying, and if I seem a little bit scatterbrained, it's because I have a headache. I left work early because I'm just really not feeling well. And the headache had started setting in while I was at work, and now my brain feels like it's going to explode. But if I didn't film now, you guys weren't getting a Flosstube this fortnight. So I'm gonna jump right into it. I have a finish. You may have seen by the thumbnail. I finished Apothecary Shoppe by the Witchy Stitcher. So this is stitched on a mystery color cascade fabric, but it is glorious, and it's just stitched in 310. It's just such a shame because it never shows up. Like, it shows up with the blue, it shows up blue and pink and yellow, but it's green. I have a piece of fabric. This is Smack the Jellyfish by Liv and Diale. I was testing, doing a floss toss, but I'm going to pull my white paper out, and it's not even doing it justice, which is super annoying. Why does green not show up? Anyway, it's more green. Way more green than what is showing up, but I love it. I went crazy with the colors. Absolutely love it. So that is a finish. One finish done. So no, it still shows up as blue, which is, it's so annoying. I wish this color was like showing up properly because there's so much green and so much teal in there. Okay, let's not stick to that. Anyway, that was my finish. When did I start it? I want to say 2022. Sure, I don't have my spreadsheet in front of me. And yeah, got it finished. So that's one less whip on my whip list for my hashtag whip down, which is not going well this year. But we'll see. There's a few other things I have close to a finish. So we'll see what else can get done. Next up is I'll go into my whips. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 whips. 7 whips. Yeah, so I'm going to jump into my first one, which is my daily, but it's not really a daily. It's more like a weekly or every few days now. And that is 324 by Works by ABC. So this is what it will look like. And should have taken the top snap off my Q-snap. This is where it's up to. This is This is up to date. There is a lot of pink and a lot of red, and I am very excited to be moving out of the pinks and the reds. So that is what that looks like. Now that stays in my Q-snap because, like I said, it's a daily piece. This one is stitched on a 36 count even weave, 2/1 full cross. So yeah, that's what is done so far. Next up is 324, the sequel, also by Works by ABC. This is what this one looks like. And do I want to take the top bar off? No, probably not, because it's a lot of messing around and this one's got more in it. So this is where I'm up to. So nice to be out of the pinks and the reds and thing. I think this one here is my favorite block. Like the satiny stitching is just so nice. So yeah, that's what this one looks like. This is on a 25 count over 1, but it's not really over 1 because it depends on what stitch it's calling for. These are my two together. Aren't they pretty? This is what they look like. So they are up to date, which I got caught back up. Next up is the Scary Sampler by Heartstring Samplery. I pulled this out for a fandom stitching prompt. It is one of my 25 in 25. And I took it out of the Q-snap because I stopped working on it. But this is where I'm up to. I have to lean back. I'm going to fold this in half because I've made it down to the bottom. This is DMC 310. I'm frogging that. I will pull that out and I'm going to stitch it in the called for because I ordered it, because the called for is like a, it's in my haul, I'll show you, but it's Raven by Gentle Art, I think, and it's like a greeny black, and I feel like it would work better. But I have worked in the forever grass because there is so much grass, and then I started working on the coffin and the skeleton. I'm doing the called for overdyed floss. I was doing the 310, but like I said, I'm going to pull that out and stitch the called for. I love this green. This green is absolutely beautiful, and I love the variegation. So I know, like, when threads are variegated, everyone stitches like one cross at a time. I don't. I just do the whole row and come back because I can't be bothered, and it's still giving this like variegated grassy look, which I love. So I love that. That is where that is up to. This needle minder is glow in the dark. It's from Ginger Stitch AU. Next up, I'm using this. This is Sorcerer Mickey by 44/7 Shades of Cross Stitch on Etsy. It's no longer available. I'm using this for Fandom Stitching Full Coverage February prompt. And I was so close to getting a page finish. It's not the end of February, but I got a page finish and I started on the second last row. This is what it looks like. So I got this page finish, and then I have a row of full pages and then a row of partials. So I do have some park threads down here because I couldn't be bothered finishing them off. So I finished this page here, and now I'm coming down working in this page. I've got this in a Q-snap, and I'm just going to fill in what's in the Q-snap instead of doing page by page. So we'll see what happens. But this is my oldest WIP, and I want to get it finished this year. Whether or not that happens, who knows? That's my goal. I'm well over halfway. I think I'm almost at 60%. So not much left to go. Super exciting. Super, super exciting. So that'll get some more work. You'll see that again next fortnight because I'm working on that for fandom. Next up for fandom, I pulled out Ahsoka by Owl's Head Design. I used this for a prompt. I can't remember what prompt. Don't ask me. It is one of my 25 for 25, I believe. This is where I'm up to. I just worked on this blue background. It wasn't much. It was maybe 400 stitches. I pulled it, I was working on it, and then I'm just like, do I really want to work on it? And then I ended up going back to Mickey and working on Mickey. So she'll get some more work. That's why she's in the Q-Snap. I need to do a couple more prompts for fandom, so I'll probably just use her because she can fit for whatever prompt because she's one of my 25 and 25. So that is where Ahsoka is. Needleminder is from Inchworm Designs. Okay. Next up is the Wonders of the Hubble Space Telescope Stitch Along by Climbing Goat Designs. I have had this just not being worked on for over a year. I love the chart, hate the fabric, not a fan of Picture This Plus. It makes my stitches look like absolute garbage and it's not enjoyable for me to work on. So this is where I'm up to. So this is on a 16 count Mystic, I believe, or an 18 count. Who knows? But like my stitches look like absolute trash. Not a fan. So I've got this nebula, and I think the one underneath to go. So I've got 2.5 nebulas to go. And then technically this whole center block is meant to be filled, and then there's writing underneath. But what I'm going to do is finish the border, finish the nebulas, and then I've recharted to go in this middle part, Wonders of the Hubble Space Telescope, with like stars everywhere. Because I'm not stitching the big Earth and the actual telescope situation. So this is where this is up to. I used this for a prompt for fandom, but it is also my whip go, one of my whip goes for February, and it's meant to get 500 stitches. So I'm almost at 500 stitches. I only have like 100 and something to go. So I will do that today at some point. And that way this one is off my list, and then I can pull out my Villains by Happy Sloth Studio to work on, because that's my other whip go for 500 stitches. But I want to get this done because I want to get it done. It doesn't call to me, and I just needs to be done so I don't have to do it. Okay, my final whip for the fortnight, and this got the most stitches because it's a stitch along and I'm behind, is the Water Sirens SAL by Bella Filipina. Part 6 just came out. She's stunning. She's got pink skin. Love it. I am currently stitching part 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Part 5. You know, I made a choice to do the 1/1 skin. That was a choice. It looks fantastic, but you know, it takes forever. And you know, I had to frog 3,000 stitches on this one. But this is, okay, let's fold. This is where she's up to. So I'm going to zoom in to each one of these thingies. So our first part was the treasure chest. It still needs a whole bunch of beads and treasures. Part 2 and part 3 was this siren. She still needs some backstitching and beads. So where the backstitching meets the fabric, I haven't done it because the mock-up looks full coverage, and I don't want to have to do stitching where there's already backstitching. And then part 4 and part 5 is this lady and this lady. Okay, that was a magnet. Let's hope the cat does not get that. One moment. Let me see where that has gone. Okay, we're fine. Part 4 and part 5 is this lady. This lady's hair got frogged and restitched, I think 1.5, maybe 2 times. And then she's got the longest tail in existence, but it is almost done. So she'll be going back in the Q-Snap to be worked on, and then the next siren will be here. So she's next. we'll see. All of those needle minders, so the jellyfish, the Luna moth, the stingray and the bubble are all from Ginger Stitch AU as well. So they are my WIPS for the week. If you can hear him, he's chittering at birds. So I apologize if you can hear him. He's very vocal. Anyway, they are my WIPS. I have some haul. I normally don't really have that much haul. I have a decent chunk of haul. I've got my silks for you, silk of the month. I have my fabric of the month by Color Cascade, and then I have little bits and pieces that I ordered. So my silks for you, silk of the month for January were these lovely pale colors. Where's my white piece of? So these are the colors for January. I love the pastels. The dark one has arrived. He's obsessed with these organza bags and the silks to the point where he tries to eat them, which is, you know, very problematic for me. But, you know, he thinks they're food for some reason. He just really likes the taste of them. You don't need to eat it. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Can I have my fabric now? Can you get off my fabric, please? So yeah, he does try to steal the silks for you organza bags, which is super annoying, but you know, no, we don't eat needle minders. Anyway, my fabric of the month from Color Cascade is Islands of Avalon. I get the 32 count even weave in a 17 by 26 cut. And no, stop eating my floss, please. Stop. This is Islands of Avalon, which is beautiful. She's screaming for a mermaid. I have a few mermaids that are potentials to go on her, so watch this space. But it's not, yeah, it's not showing up true to color. It's a little bit darker. There we go. It's beautiful. So I'm excited for my fabric of the month. Hi, Vadi. And then my little bits of haul. Hi, do you want to say hi? You're gonna fall. Do you want to say hi? Do you want to say hi? Thank you. Thank you for the kisses. You don't need to lick my hands. You gonna say hi? No, you're gonna bite me. That's fine. I put in a order with JK's. Yep, with JK's. Yep, they're not for you, buddy. They're not for you, Vader. For some thread. Anyway, I put in an order for some threads from JK's cross stitch supplies, just because I wanted to get some extras for the scary sampler. So I got another skein of collards. I got another couple of skeins of mossy, which is the grass. I got 2 skeins of the raven. So as you can see, it's like a black and green, which is really pretty. And then I got the color I was missing, which is stepping stones. Now he's trying to eat those. Threads are for mummies and not for Vadies. You're so cute. You're so cute. I also ordered from Amazon some more of the fabric clips for my fabric. So I got another container of those. Veda, why don't you turn around? Let me move this. And you can sit here so people can see your pretty face. So when I put in my order with JK's, I managed to find this on clearance, which I love. Veda, it's you. So do you need to give it your seal of approval? Anyway, this was on clearance. I wanted this for a really long time, so I ordered it because the threads can't travel by themselves. So I ordered that, and I also ordered 2 more of the Bella Filipina Fairy Tales charts. I got the glass slipper, which is Cinderella. Yep, and then I got the new one, which is Belle. So they have been added to my collection. Do they have your seal of approval? Yep. Good work, buddy. Anyway, that's my haul. All my stuff is gonna fall because, you know, we have it on a what's it called, on a pile. That's my haul. That's my WIPS. That's all I've got. This is not very fast. I mean, this is not very long, but I think I've spoken really fast, which probably doesn't help, but I need to go and turn off the lights because they're hurting my eyes. If you've made it this far, leave a flower in your comments for this delicate flower over here that is cleaning himself if you can't hear how loud he is being. Are you right? I'm just gonna... Oh, yeah, making everyone sick. This is what he's currently doing. Anyway, leave a comment for that delicate flower. Let me know what you're stitching on while you're watching, or what you're stitching on lately. Do all the YouTubey things, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye. So loud.